Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast.
My goodness.
My name is Benedict.
Oh, that would be so meta. Let's do it.
No, okay, fine.
My name is Benedict.
No, people will be confused. First-time viewers.
Oh, well, they won't listen to this one.
We don't get new listeners. My name is Benedict. You probably know me better as BHL Hudson from the famed YouTube channel.
Infamed.
That's not a word. Here we talk about movies, TV shows.
Bunch of nonsense.
You know the catchphrase by now.
Oh,
with me as always is...
Frederick.
Frederick's here.
Rejoice.
Everyone applaud. It's good to be back.
And why is this episode so special, PHL?
Well, here's the deal. This episode is
brought to you by...
is pre-recorded. So we're recording this on Wednesday, the 20th of June.
Goodness me.
And
where are we recording this?
We are doing another school pod. This is not planned. This is not wanted or desired, but
but it's needed.
I might put in a little video of what this terrible setup looks like. We're doing a school pod recording again, but this time, since we're on kind of leave, I guess, from school, it's more empty here, so we can be more animated, more
more loud.
Yeah. Last time we were whispering because there was a classroom next to us. Here we're in our common room. It's a good time.
There's 2 microwaves.
Just why do you sound so nervous about it? Like you stole one of them. You've never listened before. You just think this is a pod about our school. But that being said, we may have to stop briefly if someone knocks on the door because it may happen.
Or if we don't want to anymore.
Or if we get really bored of this. But yeah, this is pre-recorded. I believe this is going up July 7th. So for the month of, by the way, there are time codes in the that's hard to say. In the description if you want to skip around to the actual thing because. Yeah, I mean, this is just setup. The whole month of July, we are on summer vacation.
We are. So we'll be
Phineas and Ferb style.
It's summer vacation.
That's not how it goes. There's a... No, you got really excited there. You thought we were really going to do it. So I'm off in America, having a great time. Where are you, actually?
I don't know. I told my dad to tell me the day before we leave as a surprise.
You're not going anywhere. You're totally not going anywhere. They're leaving you there.
Dad, where are you? We're in the Bahamas, son.
It's Home Alone style. But so anyway.
I purposely forgot.
So we're just... If something terrible happens with someone we talk about between now and when this goes up, like last time we said something about a sneaky TJ Miller between when we recorded and then terrible things came out about him. We do not stand by that. He got arrested by the FBI. Do you see that? Dude. So anyway, we are, it's pre-recorded. We're talking this episode, since we can't do news because it's pre-recorded, we're hitting some topics this month.
What are we hitting?
So this episode, we thought we'd talk about MCU villains.
No.
Not ranked. I wrote ranked here, but that's wrong. We're just going to go through all of the villains and talk about them in order. Because, yeah, I can't be bothered to rank this.
Who is Sola?
Now, okay, I just want to say, people are going to ask, what about this, what about that? So, this is the main villains. And there are going to be some...
I don't think anyone will be like, where is Sola?
Some people will be like, where's Sola?
Who is Sola?
He's the glasses-wearing German man who's in Red Skull's best friend, and then he's a computer face.
That's a good
Captain
movie,
America.
Red Skull's best friend.
That's a spin-off.
It's just them on a field.
Sitting in complete silence.
Red Skull is loving it.
So we're not including Zola or that big Iceman King from Thor or the actress lady from Agent Carter Season 2, that wrinkly old man from Runaways or Carl from Jessica Jones. But we are including some TV. I put some TV villains in here.
Oh,
some of that Fisk. We might also skip over a few a little bit because there's not. What do you have to say about Malekith? Come on.
Oh,
you have a lot to say. Prepare his 5-hour essay. And also spoilers for the entire MCU, just so you know, just so we get that out, so we can have a great conversation here.
Oh, you told me you do a little spice.
Oh, so here's the thing. This is going to be a really boring pod if we don't spice it.
So we're doing vodka shots for every villain. And there's 18...
There's 28.
There's 28 movies?
No, there's 28 villains, including TV stuff.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. I decided we're going to play a little game. So I found a piece of trivia for each villain.
Is this a Saw kind of thing?
Yes. You're going to die by the end of this. And then, so I put a piece of actual trivia from IMDb or the MCU Wiki or whatever. And then...
BuzzFeed.
Probably. And then I made up my own piece of trivia. And I'm going to see if you can distinguish between mine and the real one. It may be difficult. They did a similar thing on the Weekly Planet, so I thought, why don't we try it? So,
Okay, let's do it.
I think we're going to... I feel like I forgot to say
I
something.
too have prepared some trivia.
Oh, God.
No, I haven't.
You pull out another 5-hour essay?
About how I didn't prepare anything.
About how you add nothing to this podcast? So yeah, again, time code's down in the description. Let's just jump into this. Happy July, everyone. Whew, we can say that because it's like time travel. All right, starting off, first one, Obadiah Stane, Iron Man 1. So I've just noted down a few things about each villain.
Oh, that's very good. That part where he yells at that one scientist, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave
with a box of scraps.
I don't think he says that.
He does. That was an improv on my part.
Trust me, I know Obadiah.
So have you actually seen Iron Man 1?
I have. Many times.
Obadiah, look, a lot of people don't like Obadiah for personal reasons. I think, look, as a villain,
He's alright.
He's like, yeah, he's fine. But like, I think performance-wise, Jeff Bridges...
He's fucking amazing.
Jeff Bridges is really good. And he brought a lot, he's the first villain. He is kind of like one of those more generic MCU villains in terms of like villainy, but in terms of like charismatic.
He sets the bar fairly low, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I do love my Obadiah. I do like when he's, yelling at that one scientist and he's having a bit of banter with Tony. He's pretty intimidating. But then when he actually becomes Ironmonger, the villain at the end, he goes crazy for no reason. Like, his plan basically is the whole movie
Doesn't he just want a suit like Iron Man?
Well, no, he wants to... What he wants is, so he's running the company with Tony. With your boy Stark.
He's your boy Junior.
Yes, with your boy Junior. And
fucking brilliant, mate.
And he wants to run it by himself so he can sell money, so he can sell weapons to terrorists and make more money, right? And
here's your money. That'd be $20.
So he pays the terrorists to kill Tony so he can have the company for himself, and they don't. He makes a suit and whatever, and then he comes back, and then. In the end, he finds out Tony made this awesome suit, so he's like, oh, I'll build a suit like that, and then fight Tony Stark throughout the whole city and, like, cause tons of property damage, and, like, what are you gonna do if you won? Like,
go to prison.
You can't go back to your company now. You destroyed, like, half the city, killing Tony Stark. Like, So, the pieces of trivia here.
I do love his segue.
Well, yeah, he rides a Segway at one point. That's pretty good. So, trivia A. To prepare for the role, Bridges shaved his head and grew a beard as he had always wanted to do that. Or trivia B, Jeff Bridges can't actually ride a Segway, so they had to use CGI to make that scene come to life.
Now, is one of these true, you say?
One of these is true, and one of them I've made up.
Okay. I'm gonna go with B, that you didn't make it up.
Well, I did make up B.
God damn it.
Jeff Bridges can't actually ride a Segway. Why would they use CGI? He could just walk up. He wouldn't need to use a Segway at all. It'd be so pointless. So yeah, no, Jeff Bridges always wanted to...
I took you for a smarter man.
No. Do you want to rate each villain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yes.
I'm going to give him a 7.
I'm going to give him a 6.
Damn. Okay, we're good.
Who is Abomination again? Oh, that's the Hulk, dude.
Now, he is...
I haven't seen the Hulk.
In real life. He's just basically the Hulk, but bad. Like, there's not... Look, to be fair, The Incredible Hulk is my least favorite MCU movie, but I haven't watched it in a really long time, so maybe it's fine, but I just remember it being kind of... He's just, like, very impressed with the Hulk when he first sees him, and then he wants to be like him, and then he gets the serum injected in him, and then he's a big, muscly freak. So, do you have anything to say about Abomination?
No.
You haven't? Yeah, okay, that's fair. Do you think his CGI looks good? Because I don't.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
You haven't seen him at all?
No.
I want to say one piece of, not trivia, but just a thing that happened. Mackie. They were doing, interviewed by something for Infinity War, and it was him, M'Baku, and Bucky. They have names, what am I doing? Winston Duke, Sebastian Stan, and Anthony. And they were, like, they would show them a picture of an MCU villain, they would see if they could name them. And when Abomination came up, your boy Sebastian Stan and I believe Mackie thought it was Doomsday from Batman v Superman.
I was actually just gonna say it looks a lot. Did Winston get it though?
Winston did get it. Winston is actually really good at it. Trivia about Abomination. Originally, Abomination was going to return in Avengers: Age of Ultron, but later was cut. Or B, Abomination is not actually CGI. It's just tiny actor Tim Roth in a giant muscle suit.
Now I wonder which one of these could be wrong.
These get worse as they go, by the way. I was writing these very late at night.
Thanos is actually a huge pickle that came to life. I'm gonna say A.
Is false, yes.
No.
He
A
was
is correct.
See, correcto. Because he's actually...
But he doesn't die in...
No, he's still alive. They have him, like, trapped in a big fridge somewhere or something. I don't know. In one of the short films, Coulson's like, we got Abomination in, like, a freezer in Alaska or something.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, that's Coulson's most famous line.
He said it with such gusto. So we have Abomination in a fridge in Alaska.
But yeah, they wanted to put him on the Avengers, but then they got Tony. It's a whole thing. You should watch my MC chronology. It's pretty good. Whiplash. What have you seen Iron Man 2?
I have.
It's
alright, but it's not very good.
He's another pretty generic, but it's kind of terrible. He's another sort of Ironmonger-ish, where it's like it's a pretty good performance. Like he has that scene where he talks to Tony in the prison.
That's a good
scene. Yeah, when he's in the prison, he's like, "If you could make God bleed, people will cease to believe in him." That's an amazing Rourke. God, I'm proud. But in terms of motivation, he just kind of like it's just revenge. Like his dad was screwed over by Tony's dad. So
yeah, and he makes whips.
Yeah, you'd think he could make like a better weapon than that. Like literally anything is better than electric whips. So I would say.
We forgot to give Abomination a rating.
I would give that like a 4.
I'll give it a 2.
Oof. I don't know. In the action scenes, it's fun. Like the whips are fun, dynamic, but like practically, it's just kind of like why?
It's kind of dumb. Yeah, and he's got no superpowers, right?
No, yeah, but he gets hit by a car.
He gets hit by a car multiple times.
I never noticed that until I saw the honest trailer. Yeah, but he blows up a guy in a prison. Like, it's the only thing I remember about him, really, besides all the things I just said,
is I want my board.
Yes, exactly. Why are we such nerds? Why are you such a nerd?
Oh God,
you're supposed to be the cool one on this podcast.
Okay. I know.
So I think he's fine. Now trivia. Trivia A. Even after working out, Mickey Rourke still couldn't lift the Whiplash whips because they were too heavy, so he had to work out even harder. Or B. In his death scene, very briefly, you can see a shot of Whiplash's head exploding. Because remember how they kill him? They do the double repulsor, him and Rhodey? And he's like, "You said never to do that again." He's like, "I know what I said." That's actually Incredibles. Never mind. I'll see myself out. Anyway.
It's B.
Is true?
Is true.
Incorrect. A is
what?
True. Mickey Rourke worked out for a while and still couldn't lift the whips.
But he's so huge.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But you cannot see his head exploding. That would be too violent. Shame on you. I'd give that like a 6 out of 10.
I'll give him a 5.
Next up, and actually a really good one in my opinion, Justin Hammer. He's the secondary villain in Iron Man 2, and he's just like the somehow more unlikable, like smarmier version of Tony Stark. There's a great scene where they're in Monaco and like he approaches him and you could just see like I'm so happy Tony Stark wasn't that, because he could very easily have been that. You know, like he's always sarcastic and like.
Yeah.
But he actually.
But Junior pulls it off.
They actually wanted what's his name, Mr. Right. What's his name?
Sebastian Stan.
No, Sam Rockwell. They wanted him to play Tony Stark originally, but Sorry about that. Someone just knocked on the door and we had to kill him. I feel like we made the exact same joke the last time we did this at school.
Oh yeah.
For the record, we haven't killed anyone. I hope.
Well, Hudson has. He walked up to a girl, he's like, "Sup," and she died of lack of charisma.
Well, anyway, Justin Hammer. Yeah, no, he's really entertaining to watch. Oh God. Okay, we've been interrupted twice now. I hate my life. Justin Hammer. We keep getting interrupted. All right, we're just gonna. I love him. All right,
he's a good bloke.
He's like an 8 out of 10 villain because he's really funny.
I'll give him a 7.5.
I mean, as a villain,
just to spite you.
As a villain, he's not like intimidating or anything, but he's very funny. He's very charismatic. He's probably the most enjoyable part of that movie, maybe. Now, trivia A. Initially, they wanted Sebastian Stan, your boy Bucky, for the role. Or B. Justin Hammer is the first gay character in the MCU.
Now let me think. B is correct.
C correcto, it is.
Yep.
In the short film All Hail the King, in the end credit scene, it's where the Mandarin, Trevor Slattery, your favorite character.
Oh yeah, I do love myself some Trevor Slattery.
He goes to jail and like the real Mandarin tries to get him, but you see in that prison, your boy Hammer's there and he has a boyfriend.
Really?
So it's very good. And I don't know if he's the first one because I just read that off the MCU wiki, so if there's someone else, please don't hate me. Also, of course they wouldn't want Sebastian Stan he couldn't pull off the hammer. Now we've come to Loki.
Probably the best one.
I mean, he's up there. I don't know if he is still the best because he's not really even a villain anymore. But so I wrote here my one note is his evolution. So we start in Thor 1. I said evolution really weird, I'm sorry.
Evolution.
We start in Thor 1. He's a sympathetic villain. He really, all he wants is his father's approval, I guess. I haven't seen Thor 1 in a really long time.
But isn't he adopted?
Yeah. He finds out he's adopted and then he's like, I want my adopted dad Odin's approval. And then he says that. And then he invites the evil Ice King, who's his actual dad, to Asgard to kill his dad. But then he kills his real dad to save his fake dad.
Dude, it's so poetic.
And then he falls off a bridge. Like he literally just falls off the Rainbow Bridge. And he's brought back by Thanos. And then obviously he's like full head villain in the Avengers. And then Thor 2, he's kind of more anti-hero. And then Thor 3, he still does bad things. He still like tries to trick Thor into whatever, but then Thor electrocutes him. Remember that part?
I do.
That's a good part.
Oh, where he's like, let's do the thing
Get
where-
help.
Yeah, get help.
Thor 3, he's more. I think he's like a good guy basically. I do love at the end of Thor 3 when Thor is like powers up and gets his lightning powers and like the Led Zeppelin starting. You just see Loki slyly smiling in the background. It's a beautiful brother moment there. That should have been my review. What am I doing?
Can you fuck off for a minute? I just film a video.
No, but he's in Avengers. He's an excellent villain. Like he's very over the top. He's very cartoonish, obviously. Like he's like I know I've talked about this before. When he sees Captain America, he's like the soldier.
Oh yeah. Last time I was in Frankfurt.
Not in Frankfurt.
They are in Frankfurt.
No, they're not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're in
Frank-
Stuttgart or something
No,
like
they're
that.
not.
You're right. No, but oh my god, I almost fell. Sorry.
Hudson almost fell on a sitting chair.
I wasn't even leaning back.
That requires skill.
So, no, I think he's as a villain, like when he is full head villain in the Avengers, he's great. And he's, for that, the first Avengers is a very like colorful, fun, somewhat cartoonish movie. And I love, that's not like an insult at all. Like, I love that movie.
That's not a dig at the Avengers.
No, he's fantastic in that. And he fits perfectly. He was the perfect villain to kind of get them against. And now he actually has like a lot of development because he's been in multiple films. He's a real character. I'd give him like a 9.5 out of 10. Great villain. Now, I feel like there's something else I want to say. Yeah, he's powerful.
I give him a 9.5 out of 10.
Nice. Found it, brother.
Bro.
So yeah, no, great villain. Trivia. A. Tom Hiddleston has a really nice singing voice. C. Yodeling video. Mm-hmm. Or B. They've had to CGI Tom Hiddleston's bulge out of the movies multiple times because it's too prominent in his costume.
Bulge as in penis bulge. A is true.
Well, okay. Technically, they're both true.
What?
But I made up A. So now you have to distinguish between the ones that I made up and the ones that are from IMDb.
Okay. But
So yeah, they've had to.
he does have a nice singing voice.
No, he does. I
Okay.
put that in there.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't say on IMDb Tom Hiddleston has a really nice singing voice.
See yodeling video.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Tom Hiddleston doing that yodel from that movie, I think it's called I See the Light. It's great. It's music to my ears.
Literal.
No, yeah. So Hiddleston's, I can't believe I'm saying this in school. Hiddleston's bulge was too scary for the director.
Really?
Well, anyway, moving on. Red Skull. Now,
I do love myself some Hugo. Hugo Weaving is always good.
he's very good.
Have you seen him? Have you seen him?
V for Vendetta. Yes,
V for
I
Vendetta.
love him. V for Vendetta.
So I love him.
It's an engine revving up.
It's such a good movie.
No, yeah. By the way, if you can hear people talking outside, it's because we're in school. So, so first Avenger was like the first MCU movie I ever saw. I think so. He's like the first villain, and he was people say he's like one of the more generic ones. I think he's actually, besides Loki, he's the best one in Phase 1. I'm pretty sure. Like he's
Phase 1. What is
that's
that?
like from Iron Man to Avengers.
With Avengers?
Yeah. So besides Loki,
Okay.
so he, he's scary. He's
Whiplash is very good.
I do love me some Rourke. No, he's very frightening. The prosthetics look amazing. Like it looks really, really good.
It does. Yeah.
And Hugo Weaving is a very good actor, and he pulls that off very well. Even when he's in bad movies, he's usually one of the best parts.
He's in Hacksaw Ridge. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but he is.
Oh yeah, he's his dad.
He's the pop.
No, yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say except he's a really good.
I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
I give him like an 8.5. He's a
Wow,
good antithesis
wow.
to the Captain. He represents Nazis and bad things. So trivia-wise, trivia A. Now, maybe both these are true, but you have to distinguish which one I made up and which one's on IMDb. Trivia A, Hugo Weaving hates playing this character. Trivia B, Hugo Weaving is a really scary man.
Now, I don't think it would say that on IMDb, so I'm going to go with A, Hugo Weaving hates playing this character.
He does, yeah. He said he's completely indifferent to the film, and he did not enjoy doing it. So I think he just, you have to sit in prosthetics for 4 hours to get it on. So yeah, no, and Weaving is kind of a scary man. Now moving on to the Mandarin. Now this is
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, so we could talk either Trevor Slattery, who isn't a villain at all, or we can talk Guy Pearce, who's really the real Mandarin. In the end,
I think we should talk
both.
You know what? Let's do it.
So what do you? I think Ben Kingsley is fantastic in that movie. Whatever you think about that twist, he pulls off the the scary
And you'll
aspect.
Never see me coming.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good Mandarin. That's a f***ing dope Mandarin.
So that's your quote for this podcast. That is a fucking dope Mandarin.
I'm eating a Mandarin.
We should make T-shirts that say that. But yeah, he's no picture, no context, no logo. I'm eating a Mandarin. No, but Ben Kingsley's fantastic, and because he pulls off.
Sir Ben Kingsley to you.
That's very true. Sorry. So yeah, no, I'd say he's amazing, and Guy Pearce is fine. He's like, I think Guy Pearce just turns into the generic MCU villain. Like he's just like he has cool powers.
Dude, stab.
So, we should have a shirt that says that. Again, no
Guy
context.
Pearce. Why not dude stab?
It doesn't even say Guy Pearce.
You just have to say dude. Some white T-shirt.
No, yeah, I think Guy Pearce is fine in the movie, but he sort of falls into that trap of just like whatever MCU villain.
Generic. But at the very end, he's kind of over the top. I am the Mandarin.
Yeah. What do you think of the twist?
I found it funny.
Yeah, I'm not a big Mandarin fan, so I don't really.
Yeah.
Like if I was really invested, I would probably be kind of upset
I'm
about
not that
it.
invested.
I think it was a fun twist, even though I can understand why people were mad, but I think it was a different direction to go in, and I like that. Trivia A. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., discovers that the Mandarin, Sir Ben Kingsley, is actually just an actor hired to play that part. In Without a Clue, 1988, Dr. Watson, Kingsley, hires an actor to play Sherlock Holmes, a role later played by Downey. Or B. Sir Ben Kingsley got violently drunk every day on set in order to play the role properly.
Okay, now I'm gonna assume that you wouldn't write discovers that the Mandarin in brackets Sir Ben Kingsley is actually just hired to play the part. In Without a Clue, you don't even know what Without a Clue is.
No idea. I don't have a clue, one might say.
So I'm gonna say B is correct.
Yes. No, yeah, I mainly chose that A trivia because it is the most useless fact of all time. It's such a loose piece of trivia. Nothing matters. No, Ben Kingsley did not get drunk. Now, the Malekith, I think we're gonna kind of skip over this one because I have nothing to say.
He's a bit of a doll.
Completely like just fine, serviceable.
Cuts
villain.
off Thor's hand.
No, that's Loki. Fired. So we're just gonna jump straight to the trivia because I think that fits the Mandarin. I think that fits Malekith because there's really just nothing to him that I have to say. A. Christopher Eccleston had to learn parts of a made-up alien language for this movie, or Malekith completely and totally wasted the Infinity Stone he had.
Now, a lot of yours are opinions.
They're gonna get more and more obvious as this goes.
Sebastian Stan is a hunk. So I'm gonna say that Christopher Eccleston had to learn parts of a made-up alien language.
Yeah, it's humiliating. But I will say just after seeing Infinity War, how Thanos uses the ether and like it's the Reality Stone. He can turn stuff into bubbles and birds and whatever.
Yes.
And then in Thor: The Dark World, he just uses it to just like shoot Thor with it. So yeah.
Malekith 5 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, we didn't give Mandarin or Reds.
You know what? F it. Who cares?
The Winter Soldier is next. Now, talk about his evolution. He starts as Captain America's best friend, he's with him to the end of the line, and then
he falls into some ice like an idiot.
He does. And then he gets kidnapped by Russians and then later Hydra, and then he becomes a villain, but then he's kind of good, but he's sort of meh, and then...
he is sort of meh.
But now he's good again.
But now, is he dead now?
No.
He is now.
Oh,
did he perish?
He did. He's the first one to go. He's like, Steve? And then he... No, I think... Sebastian Stan, I love Sebastian Stan, especially after I, Tonya, because he's
Jeff.
Very, very good. In these, I think he's good in the first Avenger. He doesn't do, he's not exceptional. I think in Winter Soldier, because this is about villains, so let's just talk about when he's actually a villain, which is in Winter Soldier.
But in Winter Soldier, he doesn't do much acting, does he? It's just like a mask, and then he does some moves.
It's more, and then kind
of... It's 90% stunt double.
No. Yeah, I mean, he does have some good scenes where he's screaming, you're my mission. That's my stand. But I think he's a really good bloke. Someone just knocked on the door, sorry. He's a really good intimidating presence in the second one, but he's a fantastic villain. The only reason I wouldn't put him up at the top is because he's not really a villain. It's against his own will. And now I like how he is now. In Civil War, I was a little...
Do you think when the Winter Soldier shoots bullets, does he use buckshots? Go on. In the Winter Soldier.
In Civil War, I was a little bit... He's just kind of mopey, and he's it makes sense. But I really like what they've done with him now. So yeah, Trivia A. Sebastian Stan tried out for the role of Captain America. Or Trivia B. Bucky's hair gets more and more flowing as the movies go on.
Did you say Sebastian Stan tried out for Captain America for the Winter Soldier or at the very beginning?
At the very beginning. And got totally denied.
Then... B B is yours.
It is, yes. Moving on. Alexander Pierce is Robert Redford from Winter Soldier.
Oh, Robert Redford.
Oh, you don't know acclaimed actor Robert Redford?
No.
The Sting.
No.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Heard of it.
Accepted.
Is he the guy where Nick Fury's like, you always keep two eyes open or both eyes open?
He says all of that? No, he says...
He stumbles around.
No, yeah, he is. He's the old man who's a Hydra man. And I think he's great. He just doesn't get a lot to do, but he does that reveal really well. He's like an acclaimed actor, and he fits in really... Like, he fits in with the, the more serious tone that Winter Soldier had. No, I think he was really good. Trivia A, he's mentioned in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Trivia B, I wish Robert Redford would have been in more MCU movies.
Surely IMDb wouldn't put A.
Wouldn't mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, B is yours.
He's mentioned in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a few times. Speaking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jake Chisel. His actual name is Grant Ward, but because of the Weekly Planet, we refer to him as Jake Chisel.
Grant Ward?
His name is Grant Ward.
I thought it was Brett Dalton.
No, that's the actor.
Oh,
his character.
I got so confused then. You got no idea. I felt so betrayed.
That you've just mistaken Brett Dalton all these years. Also, we're going to have to speed run quite a few of these. But okay. Jake Chisel. So he starts off as like a very kind of generic good guy, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, Chisel. And then he's revealed to be a Hydra agent. And then... We'll get to the trivia in a second. Right. And then he kind of turns good again, then he turns bad, and then he goes onto another planet where he gets possessed by a tentacle monster. And then he comes back and starts eating people. And then he gets blown up in space by a man with electricity powers.
Now, he's been through quite a lot.
Yeah, Brett Dalton has been on quite the journey. No, I think he was a really, really good villain. I really liked him. Because as a hero, he's very generic and he's just like, Chisel. But as a villain, he's like, Chisel. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know when he goes, Chisel.
This is one line. As a tentacle monster, it's a little weird, I guess. But as a Hydra agent, I really enjoyed his character. Now, trivia. A. Many fans responded to Brett Dalton, Ward, badly after his character was revealed to be a double agent. However, there's a larger fan base on social media called Ward's Warriors, who openly support the character and a potential redemption arc for him. They often trend hashtags like #StandWithWard during episodes. Now, I really wish that wasn't true. However, trivia B is his jawline
is so sharp that he can open cans with it. B is true.
Yeah, B is very true. So yeah, that's he's a good character. Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Destroyer.
The Accuser.
The Accuser?
Yeah, he's coming back in Captain Marvel. I'm actually very excited. Anyway, again, much like Malekith, nothing to say here. He's just like,
yeah,
he's fine.
Fair. But how can he hold the thing, the stone?
Because he's super powerful. He's a Kree man. Now, trivia. The name Ronan is a fairly popular name in Ireland. There was even a Saint Ronan who was born in Ireland and sailed to France. The name is said to mean Little Seal. Or, that part where he breaks a Nova dude's skull at the start is really cool and like the coolest thing he does in the movie.
I love your professionalism.
Thank you.
I did actually know that Ronan was a fairly popular Irish name.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the part where he does break that guy's skull at the start with the hammer, that's like the one cool thing he does. We're on to Wilson's Fisk.
Oh, I do love Wilson's Fisk. Wilson's Fisk is in the hissy.
It's very true. Now, I just want to mention, for these Netflix shows, they always get like really big, high-profile actors. Props for that. And
I've never
the
heard
first
of this
one
man before.
You never heard of Vincent D'Onofrio?
He sounds like Vin Diesel's weird brother.
He is.
Okay.
He's I'm sorry if you can hear kids screaming. He's fantastic. I think he was the perfect villain to kind of introduce the darker Netflix
really
world.
Good.
Yeah, his performance is amazing, and the character is very both layered and like scary. Like a villain should be frightening in this case, but also
relatable somehow.
Well, no.
Well, I bashed my dad's head in.
That's fair. Yeah, he gets like a good backstory. He's a really incredibly interesting character, almost as interesting as Daredevil himself. Anyway, trivia. Fisk is never referred to as the Kingpin, or B, having your head slammed in a car door is probably the most horrible way to die in the MCU. Can you think of any other way that would be worse?
Like, you know how the guy kills himself on the spike in the fence also in Daredevil?
That's pretty terrible. Yeah. So I guess B is false. So yeah, he's fantastic. Ultron is...
Why do you sound so excited? Ultron
was a weird case because he in the
Benjamin Button.
That's so terrible. In the trailers he seems like this like super intimidating, scary, like Terminator kind of character.
But then he's humoristic.
Yeah, he's
which
like,
I actually kind of liked.
oh
dear. Oh, I'm sure it'll be okay. Hashtag your boy Smeagol has got no arm.
He says that in the movie. Hashtag Smeagol. No, yeah, he's on multiple viewings. I think it gets better, but the first time especially was there's a part where he's like, people who want peace make war, and people who want no children make
children.
He's like, make children. I forgot the word there. That's Ultron says nothing like that. But yeah, it was
really want to
weird
see that.
jarring. So as a villain, yeah, he's pretty good. He's not as good as Loki.
I'll give him
We stopped doing the rating.
a 7.8.
Trivia A. Ultron's weird robot facial movements are strange initially, as is his sense of humor. Or B. The actor James Spader played a large role in the 8th season of The Office.
These are both terrible things. B is correct.
It is. And he's actually very good on The Office. Even though he's a very
I've heard
weird...
James Spader before.
He's in the blacklist. Yeah, no, he's really good on The Office, even though he's a weird kind of like sex freak. He tries to have a threesome with Jim and Pam in a deleted scene. Moving on, another Ronan Malekith situation. Yellowjacket. Nothing to say here.
Why not the kid from It?
No idea where you're... Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You got it. All right.
So, Trivia A. Paul Rudd had to wear an actual suit while Corey Stoll did motion capture.
Who's Corey Stoll?
He's a Yellowjacket.
Oh, okay.
Or B. Yellowjacket has as many memorable moments as he has hairs on his head. I'm sorry. That's more mean than I intended. That's more mean than I intended.
And we know that Corey Stoll is watching this.
Yeah, so... I'm sorry, Corey Stoll.
But you've got no charisma.
I'm sure he's in a lot of other stuff. I'm sure he's a great actor, but in that movie, his character is just like nothing. He's a bit of an Obadiah, except he does have a reason for going crazy.
What is his reason again?
He is exposed to the PIM particles, and they drive him nuts. 16, Kilgrave. All right, we're gonna speed around some of this. Actually,
now
not
I haven't
a lot.
seen Jessica Jones.
You should watch it just for him, even if you don't like the rest of it, which I did.
But I've searched up Kilgrave scenes, and it's incredible.
He is amazing. I'd say he's probably my favorite part of that show. He just like Kingpin. I think he might actually be better than Kingpin because he's very, very scary. But incredibly like
Charming.
Yeah, charming, charismatic, and like he does such terrible things. Like he makes his mom kill herself by stabbing herself with scissors and stuff. It's crazy. But he also somehow manages to make you like him because he's so charismatic and like funny and charming. And also he has a tragic backstory.
It's like Heath Ledger.
Yes, kind of. I mean, yeah, it's a very different character though. But yeah, he's very...
You fool.
No, he's incredibly charming and scary, and also a great character. I'm not trying to be a broken record here.
Shoshana!
You won't get to that. So anyway, trivia. The character once told a man to go screw himself, which left him in an awkward situation. Or B, David Tennant's skin color isn't actually purple at all in the show, despite his name being the Purple Man. So,
it's very funny. Which I know is yours.
It is
not. Because you're a
not.
comedian. What?
He does actually do that. His skin color isn't purple. Have you never seen a picture of him?
No, I know, but...
David Tennant is not an actual purple man.
I know, but I said they were both true, but this one's yours.
No.
What?
That's real.
Oh, he says that it left him in a weird situation?
Yeah.
I thought it was...
No, they don't actually show it on the show.
I thought it was just IMDb's pick on it. Which must have been awkward for the guy.
He says it was a weird situation. Anyway, Baron Zemo. I'd say a pretty good...
He's the guy in Civil War, right?
Yeah. Initially, on the first viewing, that kind of took me out of it and made me like it less, because all of his scenes are kind of dull-ish, especially compared to, like, everything else that's happening in the movie that's infinitely more interesting. On rewatches, it's better, and, like, it makes sense. He has to be there, his plan and everything.
Does he die?
No, he goes to prison at the end. He tries to kill himself, and T'Challa's like, I will not be consumed by vengeance anymore, and then he... But yeah, I think he's a good villain, but in that movie, he's just, I think, the least interesting part of it. He might come back, though. So then, Trivia A, he's played by that one guy from Inglourious Bastards, and Trivia B is just Shoshana.
One of these is from IMDb.
I mean, I've reworded it. Yes.
Then A is from IMDb.
Well, yes, he is played by that one guy.
And what is your fact? Shoshana.
Because he marries, or he wants to marry Shoshana in that movie. Now we come to Cottonmouth / Diamondback. So Cottonmouth is fantastic. Again, getting a high caliber actor. If he'd stayed for the entire show, I think that show would have been a lot better. Because every episode he's in, like the first 7 is what I enjoyed. And then after that, it's like much less enjoyable.
Apart from Moonlight and this, what has Mahershala Ali done?
House of Cards.
Okay. Is he good in that?
I haven't seen it. No, yeah, he's fantastic and like just another amazing Netflix villain. They were on such a great trend here, and then they introduced Diamondback.
God,
he's just so much less interesting to watch than Mahershala Cottonmouth, and like also as a character, I find him less interesting. The twist is kind of over the top, and I didn't really.
Yeah.
I'm sure the actor's fine, but as a character, I really did not enjoy that. So, trivia A: Mahershala Ali creates mixtapes for each character he portrays. Ali stated that his mixtape for Cottonmouth took into account his Harlem heritage. Someone's knocking. So we got interrupted there. So anyway, Mahershala created a mixtape. That's the point. Or B: one is clearly a better villain than the other. We're talking Cottonmouth Diamondback here. Now that's from IMDb. Yeah, you preferred Cottonmouth though, right?
of course.
Now moving on, Kaecilius.
I
Now,
like Kaecilius.
I will say he's almost on that Malekith level, but I think he's a step above. He's more interesting.
I'd say he's on that weaving level.
that's fair. The weaving level is hard to achieve.
It is.
Mess Mason brings a lot to the role, and the character also, he has like a monologue to Doctor Strange about like how his, how he wants to bring the dark dimension over, and
how his wife is dead or something.
Yeah, if you know the backstory, like his wife died, and it's a somewhat, it's not like it's serviceable, and his powers are also really cool. Like I mean,
he says Mr. Doctor.
He does deliver the best line in the MCU. He makes those like shadow swords or whatever, but he can also bend the.
Aren't those glass though?
Probably, I don't know.
Those looks really scary.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's fantastic. And you went on a date to this movie.
Oh, I did.
How'd that end?
That was fucking great.
Single.
Lonely.
So yeah, trivia. A: Mess Mikkelsen is the best thing to ever happen to Danish advertising.
I'm sure it says.
Or B: Kaecilius was named after the rare snake-like amphibian Kaecilian. Fun game, isn't it? Can we just talk about those Mess Mikkelsen beer commercials?
They're so good.
He bikes around like
Denmark.
Danish stereotypes.
Yeah, he bikes on a table with a bunch of food on it.
We need to make time for hygge. Look up Mess Mikkelsen.
Carlsberg commercial.
Isn't it? It's Tuborg.
No, it's Carlsberg.
Is it?
It is. Carlsberg's slogan is probably.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I was gonna say, then he says, "We make the best beer in the world." Probably. Anyway, look up.
Can we watch it?
No, not. We don't have time. We have to go on to David Wenham.
Who's David Wenham?
So he's an actor, but he plays Harold Meacham in Iron Fist.
Oh.
Who is totally fine. He's kind of scary when he comes back from the dead, and he's like.
I haven't seen it, so yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh.
I've only seen like the first 5 episodes.
Well, his son Ward Meacham, who initially I really disliked, but he gets way better in the show. He stabs him. He's like, "Take this, you prick." He's fine. He has some good moments, but overall he's not very memorable. Trivia. A: On Ward Meacham's phone, Harold appears as Frank N. Stein, a reference to Frankenstein, where a character is famously brought back from the dead. Or B: Harold Meacham states that he's always wanted to go to Australia. David Wenham, who plays Harold Meacham, is from Australia.
Now I know that's true because I've seen that part. Frankenstein.
Well,
so
you've been duped because they're both from IMDb.
Are they?
But they're both terrible.
Why did you not?
I found both of these and I was like, these are both so unimportant. Like, why would anyone? He wants to go to Australia. He is also So, sorry to the IMDb trivia people. Sorry. So, I couldn't be bothered to think of a fake David Wenham fact. Ego the Living Planet. We're getting into 2017 now with Guardians 2.
God.
I think he's fantastic, actually.
I started out really liking him, and then at the very end, it was just kind of like, ah.
Well, he becomes a bit just like a screaming,
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like Obadiah where he goes crazy for no reason. Like, you get why he goes crazy. Kurt Russell's obviously amazing, and I think it was a really good choice to...
I thought you called him the Kurt Russell.
I think it was a good choice because, like, a lot of people, not me, because I'm a youngster, but a lot of people who, like, adults who grew up in the 80s, they have a lot of, like, 80s nostalgia for Kurt Russell because he's kind of, like, seen as this 80s action hero. And so to have him as, like, Peter Quill, who's from the 80s, and that's all he remembers from Earth, to have that, I think that was a good casting choice. And also, he's very charismatic. He's quite funny. He's just, like, Kurt Russell's just a charismatic guy.
He is.
Have you seen The Hateful Eight?
I have, actually. I really like it.
I really want to see it.
It's so good.
Spoilers for The Hateful Eight. I'll put that before. One of those guys is not who he says he is. It's my Russell.
Channing Tatum's
Take
in that.
shot. Yeah, don't spoil it for me. I know it already, but don't spoil it. I'm gonna blur that. Beep that name out. Beep that Tatum. Beep that Tatum.
That sounds so weird.
I'm gonna beep that Tatum.
That's a tagline to Magic Mike. Beep that Tatum.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna censor it. Yeah, as it goes along, he gets kind of more generic, but I think it's a pretty solid one. It's a step up from Ronan, I'd say. Now, trivia A: The Kurt Russell de-aging sequence, the start when he's like young in the 80s and he's with Peter Quill's mom, cost $30 million less than the Johnny Depp de-aging in Pirates 5. Or B, Liam Neeson was originally considered for the role.
Why'd you laugh at Neeson?
I don't know why.
Neeson is IMDb.
It is, in fact, yes.
Yeah.
Because
you know why? Because no one would spend over 30 millions on Johnny's face. Like, it's good.
I was trying to think of a different de-aging. I was like, Johnny did it. Yeah, no. The de-aging, though, is fantastic in Guardians 2. And less so in Pirates.
Yeah, it wasn't great in Pirates.
The Vulture.
I didn't know Detective Pembroke was here from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't gone to...
My Brooklyn Nine-Nine viewers, you'll get it.
All right.
You'll get it.
I'm going to edit that out. So the Vulture, I would say, might be my favorite MCU villain. He is...
Really? I haven't seen it.
You need to watch Spider-Man Homecoming. It's like...
It seems a
top,
bit...
top 5 MCU movies. I thought it was going to be so average, and it's fantastic. No, he is one of the best parts of it. His character, you're very scared of him. Like, he's a scary man in general. But, like, there's a part where Spider-Man is chasing at the start, and, like, he just comes in his Vulture suit and, like, grabs him, like, drops him from, like, 1,000,000 feet up in the air. Like, there's no... It's very, very, like, a frightening scene from the perspective of Spider-Man. And then the scene where, spoilers, I guess, we already said spoilers, but spoilers for you. The twist turns out, and I don't love this twist, but it turns out that he's actually the father of the girl that Peter Parker has a crush on.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's asked her to Homecoming, and so there's a scene where they're driving to Homecoming, and like as the scene goes on,
this in the Honest trailer.
It's really, really good. Michael Keaton like slowly figures out, like just through talking to him, that Peter's Spider-Man, like in one conversation, and it's like genuinely terrifying. It's really, really good. So no, I think he's fantastic, and he's coming back probably. Spider-Man saves him at the end of the movie. He's very likable. You completely understand his motivation. He's just doing it to make money for his family. I love it. And Michael Keaton's one of my favorite actors. So trivia-wise.
All right.
Sorry, I feel like I've talked. You haven't said anything about this.
Well, I don't really know the Vulture.
Trivia-wise. A. This is Michael Keaton's third, quote, winged superhero-related character. Because Batman doesn't technically have wings, but it's close enough. But in parentheses, does he have a fetish?
It's Birdman,
Batman, yeah.
Well, now I know it's true.
B. When Vulture is close to winning in the film, he excitedly exclaims, "Hot dog!"
I feel like that's true, but you made it up. Like, you made it up, but it's true. It's your quote, but it's true.
I made up the first one. B is true.
What? You made up the first one?
Yeah. Well, it is true. But
okay.
I don't think on IMDb they would write, does he have a fetish, question mark? No, probably, maybe my favorite. Alexandra from The Defenders. She's Sigourney Weaver. Totally fine.
Yeah.
They kind of wasted...
Sigourney Weaver is a bit of an there.
I think Sigourney Weaver is a great actress, but
she is. But in that,
yeah, exactly. They did like the other Netflix shows. They got like a really high profile actor, and then they kind of wasted her. Like she didn't. I guess they wanted that twist where Elektra kills her, and like that's crazy. But
also,
she doesn't do a lot.
I hate Elektra.
Yeah, I didn't include this, so you wouldn't have to rant about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think she didn't really impress me as much as like she wasn't. The thing is, I remember I think she had cancer or something, but I just don't really remember her, like I do Kingpin or Mahershala or David Tennant. So yeah, anything to say on that?
Not really. Yeah, she's very, very just thoroughly average.
Yeah. Trivia.
Okay.
A, the character originally was going to shoot all the other 4 members of the Hand through the head with one single bullet, Deadpool style, but this was later cut for time. B, Alexandra is Sigourney Weaver's actual middle name.
B is correct.
It is. Hey,
you know how I know that?
Because she would never shoot all of them through the head with one bullet, obviously. These are meant to be very obvious ones, by the way. How do you know that?
That would have been... I didn't. I should have, I would have seen that.
No, that would have been awesome. She has, a flip. So, yeah, moving on to Hela.
Oh, Hela.
I think she's good. Shut up. Shut your mouth. I think she's very good.
She's all right.
No, Cate Blanchett, I think, she's having a lot of fun with it. She's being very over the top, a little bit like Loki, but just, she's really chewing up the scenery. That's fun to watch.
I didn't really like when she's, I like the beginning where she's like, honey, you've got no idea what's possible.
She doesn't say honey, she says darling.
But, when she's at Asgard, it's just a bit...
her scenes are probably the least interesting in the movie. Yeah, people got really upset when I didn't put Thor Ragnarok higher in my MCU ranking, but...
I got 2.
You commented all of those things on my video, didn't you? Yeah, I think she has some fun moments, but I think the movie on the whole is very funny, but I think her funny lines were probably the least funny.
What were her funny lines?
Like she's talking to Scourge in the hall, and she's like, when she's addressing all the Asgardians, like, as a character, like, everyone really hyped it up. I think everyone like loves her, and that's totally fine. I just think it's a really good performance. Villain wise, it's a good backstory. But yeah, it's not like my favorite.
Okay.
Trivia A. To prepare for her role as Hela, Cate Blanchett studied the Afro-Brazilian martial art. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Capoeira.
Good.
I don't know if it's actually.
B. Odin is actually the worst father in the entire MCU.
It says that on IMDb. It's a headline.
Odin is like actually the worst.
He's not great.
He kills like millions of people in order to expand his kingdom with Hela, and then he's like, I probably shouldn't do that. So he throws Hela like away in the Hell dimension, and then he takes this frost giant baby and doesn't tell him that he's adopted. He doesn't tell his kids that they have a sister until he's about to die and she's released. Like, just,
and he doesn't help, and he doesn't help them with it.
He just oogways into the distance.
Dude, but I love Oogway.
I mean, I do love Oogway, but God, Hopkins. No, Odin's a good character, I guess, but
I don't really.
When
like
you look
him.
at all he does,
he's too royal.
Yeah,
he is. He's too like, oh, you done goofed. He says that.
It's a classic Odin. Yeah, no, I think he's just. I like Anthony Hopkins, but
oh no. Bill Crash.
I'm supposed to write Billy Russo. Oh my God, we'll get to that. I'm such an idiot. Anyway, so yeah, Odin is good, but Hela is good too.
What the fuck was Billy Crash in the MCU?
We'll get to that. Maximus from Inhumans.
I'll see you later.
No,
is that Ramsey?
Mm-hmm. That's his name. I couldn't remember his name. All I want to say about this is I really feel bad for that guy because, like, you get asked by, like, Marvel, who's, like, you know, the biggest franchise ever, like, be a really big role in this like TV show we have going. Like, that must have been the best announcement ever. Yeah. And then it's like the one thing they make that everyone hates. Like, how unlucky can you be that you get that? So yeah, it's the one property they have that like totally completely bombed. So poor Ramsey.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So
yeah, no,
but is he one of the better things?
Yeah, definitely. He is. Him and Black Bolt, I think, are the only like okayish things.
Blackguard
Boltagon. Yeah,
God.
No, he is like he's the only person who has like kind of an interesting arc and like story. But again, it's very generic, and a lot of it's just him screaming at like exposition to people. But I think for what he did, he's okay in it. He's certainly better than most of them. Trivia A. This actor will forever now just be typecast as evil, horrible, terrible, manipulative person, which is sad. Or B. This was Iowan Rehan's, that's definitely not how you say it, second time portraying a superhero on screen.
I think it's just Ian.
It might just be Ian.
Like,
Iowan.
Gruffafud.
His first was in the British drama Misfits, 2009.
I wonder which is the idea.
So yeah, that's I feel bad for him that he's always going to be just like
you're trying to distinguish it, but then this actor and then Iwan Rheon.
Yeah, I kind of screwed that up.
Now moving on to Bill Crash.
Okay, I meant to write Billy Russo here, and it was I was doing this late at night, so I just ended up writing Billy Crash.
Billy Crash,
who is actually in the MCU now.
Is he?
Oh my God, that's crazy. He's going to be a villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Really?
That's amazing. Oh my God.
Whoa.
So yeah, no, Billy. Let me fix this. Billy Russo.
No, leave it.
I'll leave Billy Crash. Anyone who doesn't know that's from Django, by the way. Billy Russo from The Punisher. One of the best, I'd say.
He is very, very good.
The Netflix shows really bounce back there.
He is charming. He is dangerous. No, he's very good. He's got the whole package. He's got the looks. He's got the walk. He's got the talk.
Why do you sound like you're promoting a male model show? He's got the chisel.
The Jake Chisel.
Yeah, who do you think would win in a chisel off?
No, definitely Billy Crash.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And like he starts, I don't know anything about Punisher comics. Like the Jigsaw is like his most famous villain, but yeah. I had no idea that was Billy Russo. So I just thought he was like, you know, one of his friends. I didn't know he was going to become evil. And then I think the scene where like I started really, really loving him as a villain was where his what's her name, Madani?
Oh, I did not like Madani.
I like Madani, but she's covered in the blood of Sam Stein, and then he's like washing it off of her.
It's very good.
Without her knowing that he was the one who shanked Sam Stein with his own
bloody knife.
It wasn't with his own knife, but God, Stein, what a terrible death.
What a terrible person.
God, I love Stane. You know the actor who plays Stane. He's very delightful on Instagram.
Michael Nathanson.
You should follow him. Everyone
I do
follow him.
follow
Michael.
him.
You do? Awesome. I love Michael Nathanson.
Everyone follow Michael Nathanson.
But yeah, it's he's really, really like the other Netflix villains. He feels like one of the original Netflix villains, like Kilgrave, because he's just so interesting and also terrifying.
What do you think? What do you think of his new look
in season 2?
Yeah,
I think that's kind of stupid because he looks like he has like one scratch in his face. It's kind of. It
and if the whole thing is that like you took my beauty away.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the whole series. They're building up like, oh, he's so handsome, and then Frank just fucking rubs him against a broken glass mirror at the end.
It sounds like he did it so gently. He nudged him in the direction.
He dragged his face across broken shards of glass. That is insane, by the way. That is such a brutal scene.
Like that was maybe the most brutal non-death scene in the MCU.
That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I'm really excited to see more of him, but I think he should have more of a messed up face. I guess they don't want to scar you boy Ben Barnes though. Ben Barnes, who plays Billy Russo,
and Prince Caspian,
he does, played on-screen father of Charlie Cox in Stardust 2007.
No.
Cox appears along with John Bernthal in Daredevil 2015.
Does he?
Or B, Ben Barnes' actual face was torn off in an on-set accident, and him and John Bernthal are now forever mortal enemies.
I like how it's his actual face. He's just wearing a fake face now. Oh, I hope that to God that's true.
So yeah, that's what that is.
Oh my God.
Moving on, we're almost at the end here.
The Killmonger.
The Killmonger. Eric Killmonger is now a lot of people say this is the best MCU villain, and
I disagree.
I think he's probably top 4 or 5.
He's top 5, yeah.
Yeah, he's Michael B. Jordan is one of my favorite actors working currently. Oh, dude, by the way, when we're recording this, Creed 2 trailer's coming out tomorrow.
That's disgusting. Creed 2 should not be happening.
It so should. I'm very, very excited.
It's
Anyway,
like Baby Driver 2 happening.
No, because
Yes.
Creed's story's just begun. Babies is done. Wake up, man. Yeah, no, Killmonger I think is especially interesting because it might be the only MCU villain who actually changes the way the hero, like, basically gets what he wants in the end. Because, I mean, in a less extreme way. Because, like, he does make a lot of good points. He's like, yeah, we should share our resources. Except he also is like, we should also kill, like, everyone.
What about Thanos?
No, we'll get to Thanos. Okay, I'm sorry. And then at the end, when after he dies, T'Challa's like, yeah, we probably should do that. Like, that seems like a completely reasonable thing. Which, by the way, who I think it might have been Honest Trailers who mentioned this, but, like, his girlfriend, Nakia, was saying that the whole time. And he's like, nah, just relax about it. And then after he gets beat up for a bit, he's like, yeah, we probably should. No, and he's also, I mean, he has such great, like, it's a really great performance. He has the hey auntie moment. You remember that?
Oh, I do remember
and
that.
He's like, and like the scene where he's introduced in the museum is fantastic. I also love how he's so, I totally forgot before the second viewing that he actually like had a girlfriend at the start who he shoots to kill Klaue.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, it's just a really interesting character with a,
Oh, we didn't mention Klaue in this.
oh, we did. I love Klaue too.
We need to. We'll talk about Klaue right now.
Oh yeah. I didn't come up with any trivia for Klaue. He is his own trivia. But yeah.
That man's a mystery.
But yeah, Killmonger, fantastic. And what was I gonna say? Yep. It's. I feel like we're talking kind of like a broken record here with the good ones because it's just like kind of like Vulture. It's just like very good motivation, very good performance, very charismatic and like interesting. Yeah. The only thing I would say I don't like is it sort of just devolves into kind of like Iron Man 1 at the end where it's like a hero fights the hero in a similar suit as himself. But besides that, character-wise, he's definitely up there, yeah.
Now, trivia.
Trivia A. Killmonger wears a golden version of T'Challa's Black Panther suit, which makes him resemble a leopard. In the comics, he owned a leopard named Prey. B. Wouldn't it be awesome?
With double Y?
Yes. Wouldn't it be awesome if Stallone's character from Guardians 2, Valkyrie, and Killmonger somehow all met up, and then it would be like a complete Creed reunion in the MCU? Wouldn't that be dope? So yeah, I mean, we can't do that because he's dead.
Oh, I thought Stallone was dead.
Oh god, if Stallone dies before this pod goes up, we're really sorry. It's possible. But yeah, I mean, Valkyrie and Sylvester could meet at some point because they're both in space, but Killmonger is now in the ocean, I guess. Didn't he want to be thrown in the ocean? No.
Or he gets thrown off the waterfall, doesn't he?
No.
Doesn't he?
No, he says something at the end. He's like, that's one of his best lines in the ending. He's like, I'm not going to say because I don't want to butcher it.
No, say it.
Where he's talking about like the slaves who jump from the ships. It's fantastic. It's a really interesting character and ending. Definitely top 5 MCU villains. And now, well, actually, first Klaue. Honestly, on the first viewing,
I think Klaue might be my favorite MCU villain.
he's kind of amazing. On the first viewing of Black Panther, I was like, "What? This is kind of weird and like off-putting." But on the second viewing, I was so on board.
It rain.
He runs
He's
out
so
of-
delightful.
He's
He's
so
like,
good.
this isn't the funeral, play some music.
Oh my
he's
God.
there for too little time.
Yeah, I wish he was still there because he's. I mean, his really weird like fake arm looks great. It's and he's like in Age of Ultron, he's kind of weird. He's
alright.
like, you like cuttlefish? That's my circus. Exactly. But in Black Panther, and he's singing "What Is Love" just for no reason.
Saw a documentary about it. It's terrifying.
Why do you know that? Oh my God, that's so weird. No, yeah, he is hilarious, and like, I mean, he's completely different from Killmonger, but I think Black Panther might have the best MCU villains. Like, if you're adding a like total.
Oh,
Frederick's mom is calling because he's a real mama's boy. And now finally, Thanos. I don't know if there's a lot to say here that hasn't been said already. It's just he does
a little bit of that snapperoo.
Your mom's calling again. Oh. I'm like, he actually is such a mama's boy. I'm kind of burnt out on talking about Thanos because I just made that giant 30-minute video. But what do you have to say about Thanos?
I think Thanos he's alright. It was a little bit anticlimactic, I think.
And that's what I felt the first time because they've said so many times like, this is the biggest villain you'll ever see in your life.
He
He's
just
so
seemed
amazing.
like, of course he got what he wanted at the very end, right?
So yeah, sorry, we just got interrupted again.
I'd expect more. Like, of course he gets what he wants, but otherwise it's just very...
But you haven't seen it the second time, have you? So you're inferior.
So your opinion doesn't matter.
I would really recommend it because it does actually help flesh out his character more. Also, the CGI worked better the second time for me because the first time it just looked really... It kind of just took me out of it and made it hard to like get into his character. But once I don't know why, but the CGI just seemed a lot better the second time. Like, it just seemed like he was actually there.
I felt Thanos sitting beside me. It was incredibly scary, but I fought through it.
Yeah, and Josh Brolin does a really good performance. The only thing I can think we can say, like, yeah, he's amazing. He's like top 3 MCU villains for me.
Yeah.
The only thing I think we can say that hasn't been said before, because I think people are kind of sick of hearing about Thanos now because just everyone's talking about it. So yeah, he's great. It's just his evolution is from Avengers where he's like played by a different actor, and he's
played by a different actor then?
Yeah, because it's only like a smile.
Yeah.
He's like he's blue, which is weird, and then Guardians. We're watching that scene from Guardians where he just kind of like is shoehorned in there, like not in a very smooth yeah, it's not like a cool entrance or anything. Or
is that when he says, "Fine, I'll have to do it myself"?
No, that's in Age of Ultron in the end credit scene. Yeah, I think there he's blue, and then in Guardians he's like, he doesn't seem like the same character. He's like, your politics are boring. Get out of here. Get me my stone. Just stop talking to me or whatever. Like, it's not. I don't know. He seems like a completely different character than like the methodical, really like driven character he is in Infinity War. I really like his motivation and like his like you told. It's kind of like the Vulture. Yeah, you get it. It does remind me a bit of Sam Jackson from Kingsman. He's like
Mr. DeVere.
Yeah, he just says that to Stark. No, yeah, but
I'll have the Big Mac, please.
That's terrible first. No, yeah, he's an amazing villain, and I think considering how much build up there was, it worked out pretty well. Now, trivia wise. You've seen it, haven't you? Trivia A. Josh Brolin is uncredited in Guardians of the Galaxy, and in fact was the last person cast in that film. He was offered the role while filming Everest, 2015. Or B.
Didn't they all stay like on a mountain filming that?
I don't know the trivia about Everest.
I think they did actually, like 5 months on like...
So he was cast while on a mountain.
I don't know.
You would know. You Everest freak.
They just talked about it on the Graham Norton show.
Oh, well, I don't
Saturdays
watch that.
at 10.
Sponsored. Yeah.
Or Thanos is actually Josh Brolin's middle name. And I'm sure that's true. Josh T. Brolin. God, you're an idiot.
So yeah, Thanos obviously great, and I think that is the last MCU villain. Now again, we couldn't cover everything, but we got that Klaue in there, so I think
we did get that Klaue in there.
So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Now, the month of July, I think we'll talk about this more
in the next pod.
Well, we will have talked about it in the previous pod.
No.
Some of that time travel. Dude, which we're recording tomorrow.
What? But tomorrow isn't tomorrow for you guys.
Oh my god.
Tomorrow is like
July 8th.
18 days ago.
God. So, anyway, we're confusing you. So last pod, we probably talked about this more in the last segment. But point is, July, we're going to have a bunch of stuff ready for you. We got pre-recorded pods up.
It's going to be good. We're going to have a little bit of Ben and Fred watch.
Hopefully 2, if we can manage to get that.
Ooh. And which ones are we doing, BHL?
I don't want to spoil it, actually.
Oh,
Well,
I like it.
you know the couples retreat is coming,
Couples retreat is happening.
and the next one I'll just give one hint.
Bananas.
That's a pretty obvious hint. So yeah, no,
God.
July. I hope you enjoy the podcast this summer, all the work we're putting in, because we're putting in a lot of work. You guys better be grateful. We really hope you're having a great summer. We're off.
Well, I hope you're having an average summer.
Yeah, and we're off having great vacations.
We are.
So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. That was not English. Thank you so much for listening. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, BHL_Hudson, YouTube, BHL Hudson. You can find, also, you can email the pod, bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. You can find Frederick.
You can find me on YouTube at FDK Gaming,
Boom.
whose subscriber count has been soaring high.
It has. It's kind
I
of
must
impressive.
say, last, it's 205% up or something. I don't know how it works. You can find me on Twitter at FDK_DaltSniper.
Oof. You gotta
And
tweet
on
some vacation things.
Oh, I do. And you can finally find me on Instagram at FDalgard.
Yeah. All right, great. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Wow.
A little remix in there.
Oh, wow.
Never mind. The summer remix is dead. All right, goodbye.